Today's guest is Colin Keelty. He's a cryptozoologist, a reporter, an investigator. He has a crazy accent. And yeah, he has his own YouTube channel, his own show. Yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, I'll give you a bit of a bio there, Dan. Obviously, my name's Colin Keelty. I grew up in a small little town called Withensea on the east coast in the UK. My sighting started when I was 14. I've had various sightings through my childhood and dreams and things things in the bedroom visiting me. I've had all sorts of things. But I had a sighting when I was 14 of a creature that I can best describe as a hyena with a mane, massive, huge thing. It followed me along the cliffs. It's pitch black. It's a long story. I was playing with some friends, but I had to go home for my tea, and it's pitch black. It's about September, October time. I had to show the date because you don't keep calendars or diaries when you were a kid. And I thought it was my mates messing about, and I finally got into where we was playing in an old, excuse me, in an old air raid shelter from, World War II. And I thought it was my mates following me back because I had to go home for my tea, and I kept hearing this growl noise. And I kept saying, pack it in. It's not funny because it's pitch black. You could see the street lights as we was heading back into Withensea because this air raid shelter was on the outskirts of Withensea. After the third growl, I stopped and just turned on. So you pack it, and this thing came into view, and it was just huge, growl, mane, teeth. And I thought, I wasn't sure what it was. I don't know what I was seeing, obviously. And I managed to get to this campsite. It's long gone now because of all the sea erosion. I could have I went to take some pictures 3 years ago, but it was all gone for my book that I'm writing. But anyway, I got to the campsite and I managed to squeeze through the fence. The gate was locked to get into the campsite. And I managed to squeeze through this gap in this fence. This thing couldn't get through. It was so huge, but the fence was only about 4 foot. So this thing could have cleared that fence easily. And I'm trying to talk to it and trying to, my dad always says, don't be scared of dogs. And I'm trying to say, I'm going, come on then. And I'm slowly backing off. And I got me out this caravan and I just ran all the way home. I got home and I said to my dad, I've seen this dog. And I described it to him. And he says, I don't know what type of dog that is. I said, well, I've never seen it before. It's huge. It's on the cliffs, blah, blah. And he says, it's maybe from a scrapyard because we had a scrapyard from where the air raid shelter was. It's about another half mile up the road in the middle of nowhere. So he says, it's probably from there. So I just let it go. But as the years progressed, I had more and more sightings. And I still didn't know what it was until I got into older, sort of like 20s, till I started actually interviewing people. And we have a lot of anglers in the UK that fish off the cliffs, off the rocks. And I'm sure you do in Germany and in the US. And I actually managed to speak to quite a few of these guys because some of these guys have actually reported these creatures the same as hyenas. And not until I interviewed this one guy, and he was telling me, and he says, "Oh, it looked like a hyena," and that's when it all hit me again. I thought, hyena, that's what I saw. So yeah, that's how it really started. I actually watched a video on the UK TV. We only had 3 TV channels then. And it was on about Bigfoot in the US, and it was 5 separate stories, and my jaw just dropped. I just wanted to know more and more and more. So that's basically how it started when I was about 14, but I saw that video when I was about 14, 15, and that's when it just kicked off. I needed to know more and more.
Wow.
But trying to get information them days was just virtually impossible.
Wow. So how tall do you think these hyenas were to you?
It was, I mean, I don't know how tall I was when I was about 14, but I would say it was over my waist. It was quite a big dog.
Sure.
I mean, the fact that it had that like small UK dogs, and when you see something like this,
sure.
I wasn't sure what it was. I mean, obviously you do it when you're 14.
Yeah,
it's not a common thing, is it?
Because those hyenas have like a weird stand. You know how they're like really hunched. You know, and especially that, and then not known in that area, obviously.
No,
Jesus Christ.
That's it.
And then you
have,
have,
I mean, like I said, I said to my dad, "What type of dog is it? What type of dog?" He wasn't sure. The descriptions that I gave, there's just no dogs in the UK like that.
Right. Well, Daniel, wasn't there like some kind of dog thing in Germany that was terrorizing people back in the day you were telling me about? What was that called?
Yeah, I do not remember. It was not in Germany, it was in France.
Oh, France. Okay.
Yeah. In France, and I don't remember the name now. I have to look it up, but we can talk about that too. And what's interesting is, Colin, that it's the same with Bigfoot and Dogman and all these cryptids. There must be a population, even when we talk about Nessie and cryptids like that. There must, if there's such a thing, and if there are here, there must be a population. There must be a lot of them. When we talk about the Loch Ness monster, there must be many of them. If they survived for so many years and years and years and years, there must be a big population somewhere. And the same with this thing that you saw there. Where are they?
I don't know. This is it. There must be a food chain as well. But the point is, I mean, I'm not saying that. I think these things are flesh and blood. But are they extraterrestrial? Are they coming from another dimension? Are they paranormal? I don't know. This is why I do what I do. I try and gain evidence, but the more evidence you get, the more questions. So I don't know. Yeah, there's got to be a population. There's got to be a food chain somewhere as well. You know, I know we have a lot of mutilations in Britain, but I don't know if it is that, to be honest.
Well, you guys are home to the crop circles too.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, we do get.
You guys pump those out like crazy. Or at least the extraterrestrials are trying to say something to you guys.
Us, couldn't they? Something at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a strange one, really. But like you said, the more sightings you have, the more reports you get, the more questions you have. But there's nobody to answer them.
Let's go back to the cryptids for a second before we get to the crop circles. Are there any indications that we're dealing with something paranormal or maybe extraterrestrial, as you mentioned? Did you found anything?
I haven't found anything personally. I know I have read reports like in the US, UFOs have been seen and the cryptids have been seen at the same time. Is there a connection? I don't know. There probably is a connection somewhere along the line. People that have reported to me say these things are flesh and blood. They've moved things, they've pushed things over, they've scratched things, so they're definitely real. And they definitely can touch and they can definitely rip things apart, but are they real? I don't know. It's the $1 million question.
It's the $1 million question. Few years back, not too long ago, a few years back, when I heard Bigfoot stories, I giggled a little bit. When you hear Bigfoot and TV shows and they all make Bigfoot look funny, and comics and stuff like that, they all use this funny, you know what I mean. But it was a process. The more I learned about Bigfoot sightings and witnesses talking about Bigfoot, and I always thought the same. I thought there must be a population. Why is it so hard to find one? Just one, or find bones of Bigfoots or a dead Bigfoot somewhere? I mean, we're talking about really, really big areas where they live in. That's for sure. But sooner or later, you'll stumble upon a skeleton or something like that. You must find something. So then people say, maybe they bury their deads, or
possible.
And then people saying, it could be something extraterrestrial or from a multidimensional phenomenon or something like that. It's a very interesting topic.
Do you think maybe the government might cover up some of these findings of skeletons? Because we've been pulling giants out of the ground here in the U.S., here, especially here in Wisconsin where I live. There's a story of some kids actually went into a cave in Lake Delavan back in the early 1900s, and they stumbled upon 18 10-foot erected skeletons that just had like 2 rows of teeth and 6 fingers and 6 toes, and so anyways, they they brought it to the public. I think down to Chicago's museum or something like that, and they took them off display after so many people were complaining and like this is not right, like how these could be human and or like some kind of alien monsters from I don't know. And again, they just disappeared. But the whole story still remains, obviously, that these kids actually found that shit and had it on display for a little bit, and the government said nope.
Yeah,
And
another government cover up again, isn't it? Just,
exactly. Do you think
I
maybe?
did read about that.
Yeah, okay. So I think that might be another factor. That's why the alien thing too. Like, why wouldn't we have evidence? Because government's there pretty quick to snap that up or just keep everybody.
Let's get it covered up. Let's tell them
Yeah.
some nice lies, like you usually do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Or
another thing with
again,
the corpse thing. I think it was the guy with the footprints in America. I can't think of his name now off my head. I do apologize. But he got a deer, staked it down in a forest, really did wire it down, and put a time-lapse video camera on it, and within 4 days it was gone. Even the bones, because of animal preservation, animals take it and various things. So you can imagine, I mean, a body in the forest with all the animals that they are there in the UK and in especially in America, it's not going to last long, is it, really?
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
So that's maybe another factor as well, that comes into the
or the interdimensional thing too. They're just popping in and out through the dimensions, and then they go back and they don't leave any evidence. There's sightings of lights in the sky after seeing a sighting of Bigfoot and orbs. I heard orbs too, or some of a factor. Again, it is. I like to say that Earth is the Disneyland of the galaxy with all these crazy things happening here with aliens, and no, it is. It's just like there must be like a beacon here on the bottom of the ocean, telling everything in the galaxy to come here and have their own agendas and have certain rules, and this could be like the human zoo it's being viewed from the moon. I don't know. It's endless. No,
it is, yeah. No, yeah, I agree with you. Totally agree with you there, Justin.
Colin, you told us a story about this cryptid you saw, or alleged cryptid you saw. So it was walking on 4 legs, right? It was like a hyena, like a dog or something, like a big dog or a wolf or something like that.
Massive big dog.
But since we talked about Bigfoot or maybe Dogman, do you have sightings like that too? Like creatures?
I've had 2 close encounters. Yeah, I have. My first real sort of like close encounter. It was on October the 4th, 1990. I was trying to make my way to a seaside town called Hornsey. I lived in Hull at the time. I was married. We only had 1 car. I worked in Hornsey, which is 20 miles away from where I lived. She needed the car, and I had to get to work the next day. And I rang a friend. He says, "Come and stay at my house. We've got a spare bedroom, so you can get to work the next day." So I set about in the morning. So I thought, okay. So I set off about 6:30 walking, because I do a lot of backpacking. I walked all over the moors over the years and places like that looking for sightings. So I thought 20 miles to me was nothing then. At the time, it is now. I don't think I could do it now. But anyway, I'll cut a long story short. I finally got to this place just outside Hornsey, and it was just coming. It was it was a full moon night, which I was really glad of. It's perfect full moon. It just lit everything up, because I didn't have a torch or anything with me. I just had a backpack with a few things in, and that was it. So I was glad of the full moon. And I just come up to this place. It's called Whitedale, and it comes into Hatfield, a little village with only a few houses called Hatfield. You've got to cut through Hatfield to where I was going. I must be about half a mile away from Hatfield. It's coming down this road, a real narrow road, country road, one of the old B roads, what they call B roads. And I heard something in the field next to me, and I couldn't see anything because of the hedge, but it had a gap under the hedge. And I'm walking, and I kept looking, and I thought, what is it? Is it a cow? And I thought, no, it's not a cow. And is it a sheep? And I couldn't figure it out. And I thought, that's a dog. That's a dog. And I could see its hind legs, but I couldn't see its front paws. I thought, well, this is strange. Can't see it. So I'm walking a bit further, and I could see a gate coming up, a gate hole. So I thought, right, I'm going to see what it is in a minute. With that, I heard a car coming up behind me. So I stepped into the hedge to get off the road. This car goes shooting by me, brake lights come on, reverse lights come on, and he comes back. Window comes down. It's my mate who I was going to go. I'm sleeping at his house. He says, "Oh, I thought I'd come and look for your call. I'm glad I found you." "Oh, thanks, Rob." So I gets in the car, and just as I looked over, and I said, "Look, look," and he was a madhead. He's one of these madheads, with the accelerator, and it was off. And I'm going, "Look, look, look!" And there was this dog, and I can send you the picture. Actually, I've drew a picture. This dog, really thin, puny, stood on her hind legs behind this fence, just watching us. And I kept saying, "Did you see that dog? Did you see that dog?" And he goes, "What dog?" I said, "There was a dog stood on its 2 legs." "Stop being stupid." He kept going. You go. And we got to Warnsey, which was only, like I say, was about a mile away. And he said, "Do you want me to turn around?" And I said, No, I'm looking, I'll put you out as it is. And I thought, oh, damn, I wish we could turn around. But I couldn't work out what I'd seen. Because in 1990, everything that I'd read up to that date was all like US based, like the Sasquatch or the Wild Man of Asia or the Yowie of Australia. It was all nothing in the UK. I mean, we had the what they call the Green Man here 500 years ago, but that's about it. Everything has been cleared. Wolves are gone. Bears are gone. So I couldn't get my head around it. What the heck was it? And I had nightmares about that for about 3 years solid, for some reason. Yes, the nightmares started when, I don't know, a few weeks after it, because it still bugged me. I made notes, because if I didn't make notes, I thought I'd forget about it. So I made the note of the time, the date, the conditions of the weather. I kept having this nightmare where Rob didn't turn up in his car. He had never come looking for me. And I walked past the fence, and this thing jumped over and attacked me and ripped me to bits. And that's when you wake up. But that was my first sighting, and I've never, well, obviously you'll never forget it. But yeah, I couldn't work out what it was for years. I didn't even know we had sightings in Britain, So as I got older and we started to get PCs, then as things started to come together. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've had 2 sightings in the UK.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like that movie, American
Werewolf in London.
In London, yeah. That first scene of his him getting ripped apart.
Here we have the picture of the drawing that you did of this creature. Sorry for the audio. Our audience here, we are looking at Colin's drawing of these creatures. Yeah, it's on your website. I will put a link of the website in the description box.
I nearly did a stick animal because I just can't draw. That took me ages. It took me nearly a week, honest, believe it or not.
Yeah, man.
But I'm terrible at drawing. I can't draw. But that thing, that what I saw within them 3 seconds, that was so puny. You could see its ribs. It was like it was underfed compared to my second sight, which I call Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger, because it was so bulky and massive, and that was puny. So obviously there is different ones, and why I don't know. So,
and they could be, just like us, they're all different shapes and sizes too, for whatever reasons. Yeah. Exactly, right.
On your homepage, I saw this little link to news report for the Mirror.
So yes, I was. Yes.
What did you talk about with the Mirror? I think it was.
I've been in several newspapers. I don't. I am over keen on the media. I've had run-ins with them several times over many years now. I am divorced. I'm single. And then the Mirror, when I told them my story and showed them the picture, they mixed it totally up, absolutely. And at the end of the link on the Mirror, they says, "No wonder why he's divorced," which I was pretty mad at, really, to be honest. It's horrible. Nothing to do with my hobby or my sightings. No. So I wasn't over keen on the media after that scenario. But yeah, I've been in several newspapers and radio shows in Britain. Yeah, I'm getting out there as much as I can, really. And all I want out of it, if anybody's got any reports, just come and see me.
Yeah, that's really horrible of them. But
that's the media for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've got to expect. I appreciate they've got to sell newspapers and they've got to make things up and the twist things like they always do, so people are interested. But they really did twist that a lot, and I was just pretty mad. I really was pretty mad.
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Crazy. So I wonder what your opinion is on the stuff that's happening right now in America over there with David Grush and he's telling the world about how the government is in possession of maybe UFOs, like he said, non-human technology, stuff like that. Are you familiar with
Yeah,
stuff?
I have
What is your
watched it.
opinion on that?
I'm not a UFO guy, but I am very interested in a way, in a sense. But I don't go out my way to look for it. I don't know. I think of course it could be true. I think we've had alien technology or the truth about aliens for many years. Obviously, if it goes public, the public are going to panic like anything. Like if you went straight on the media and says, "Look, we've got a dogman in here or Bigfoot," they're going to be walking down the streets tomorrow where we've given permission. Everybody's just going to go crazy. It's not going to work, is it? So I think that's the same technology with the UFOs. People are going to, no, there's nothing out there. I mean, I have loads of people say, "Oh, there's no out there." So I say, hold on, there must be 10 billion planets, whatever, billions and billions of planets. Are we the only one with life on there? I don't think so. If we are,
Yeah,
then that makes us very special. But no, we're not the
Yeah.
only life in
Well,
this universe.
I like how the fact that now Congress has to prove to the people that UFOs don't exist. I'm
Yes.
like, well, good luck. If you're really gonna go dig deep inside yourself to find these secret programs that are happening under their noses.
Of course there is, yeah.
It is. It's all these different layers, all the way back to Project Blue Book, how again, like look at what this pandemic did to this whole world. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine again what you just said? Like if they
That's
came out
what's
with
gonna happen,
Dogman or UFOs the next day saying that this shit is for real, people are just gonna fucking flip and I go back to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Again, I think this is a slow drip of disclosure where it's an easier for the people who do believe, getting people right in the right minds. Or, I don't know. This is if you just lay it all out once, it's gonna fall apart. But if you have this little
That's it.
slow
Takes
drip
time,
and
doesn't it,
have
to
people
feed.
thinking, even the people who are skeptics, just keep kind of, well, why is this guy who's very professional, has a career, has his credentials, and would throw that all away to go to prison because lying under oath, like it just doesn't make sense. Especially two other guys who were pilots that were fucking flying right next to this goddamn thing, saying that I don't know.
No, you're
I gotta
right.
take their people's word. Like it's just nuts. Especially that goes back to Bob Lazar. Like he's been telling the truth since back in the day. I mean, there's gonna be whistleblowers.
They reckon some people say he's only telling so much, though, don't they? They only give him so much truth because the proper whistleblowers have ended up dead, haven't they? I'm not going to go into any names, but I mean, there was one a few years ago. He was in hospital, couldn't even walk. But he managed to walk down a corridor, climb up to this window, and throw himself out. Oh, come on. Sorry. No.
Yeah. Well, that's
so
I think
the
too.
real
Louder.
people who do know end up dead.
Yeah.
People that don't know, they feed the bullshit. Personally, that's my opinion. But look at Orson Welles. Sorry, Dustin.
No, I was gonna say I thought maybe louder as a whistleblower you are, the safer you are.
Yeah,
because you're because you've been preaching it for years, and then they finally cut you out. It's like, well, maybe he was telling the truth.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, look at Orson Welles when he did that, the War of the Worlds. I know it was all made up, but how many people killed themselves? Because he did it over the radio, didn't he? And it was so realistic.
Yeah.
Only some people kill themselves. So if we go ahead and say tomorrow, I'm sorry, but UFOs do exist, and they're coming down to land tomorrow, everybody give them a warm welcome. I reckon you're going to get quite a few deaths, personally. But yeah, there you go, Dan.
Right.
Am I talking too fast? Sorry, I have been accused.
No, it's perfectly fine. I understand at least 30% of what you say. No,
that's
just kidding.
Good.
No, I know. I
understand more than I do. Then
it's all good. It's all good. I want to go back to something that you told us at the beginning of the show, and you told us that when you were just a kid, that you had strange dreams in your bedroom at night. Tell us more about that. I'm always interested in stuff like that.
I don't know. Obviously, like you're a small child, you don't keep diaries. But I mean, ever since as far as I can remember, I've always had running into my mum and dad's bedroom and saying there's people in my room. And usually parents say, stop being stupid, blah, blah, and I managed to climb in with them. And next minute, I woke up in the morning in my own bed. And as I got older, these things happened more and more. I didn't tell many people because you don't know what's happening. You don't want to freak anybody out. And you always tell, at the time, people are telling you to toughen up and stop being stupid. And there's no such things. And so crying wolf all the time doesn't help. But yeah, I had strange things. I've had, all I can say is some type of apparitions in my bedroom. I've had figures in my bedroom. I'm going to do a video about all this, actually. I've just been to a conference, and there's a few guys there said about their past, about their childhood. And I'm sat there, and there's that guy, Sims, from America with the hat. I can't think of his name. Is it Daniel Sims? Is it Daniel Sims? I can't think of his first name now, but he does all the implants he gets out of victims that are being abducted. Anyway, these guys were talking about their childhood, and as I'm sat there in this conference, everything's come flooding back, and that's all I've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks. I thought, wow, my childhood, because I just let it go on the back burner. I never really, it was just a kid thing. But yeah, I've had I had something removed out my finger. Well, I remember when in 1980, it was either 88 or 89. It was a little white ball. I kept seeing things in my dreams, and they kept coming on the news. A couple of days later, I swear on this, I levitated 3 times, as far as I know. First 2 times I remember doing it, you think, oh, you're still asleep and you're half asleep. And I think the 3rd time I remember crashing down onto my bed. I remember waking up and I had some Steve Austin posters, the $6 Million Man in my bedroom.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in bed, obviously the posters was up here and I'm laid down here. And I remember levitating, and I remember seeing just part of the posters. And I thought, what's going on here? The next minute I just come crashing down to my bed. I remember bouncing on my bed, and I just froze. I thought, what's going on? What is going on? And you can't run to your parents and say, I've just been floating in midair. And I remember laying there for I don't know, sense of time, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, 3 quarters, I don't know. I remember laying there for a long time and not trying to say anything and just trying to figure out what was going on. But I've had really strange. I connected with a woman a while back. This is another one. Remember the Lockerbie disaster up in Scotland in the 80s? I was actually in the alleyway where the seats are. And the next day, I didn't know anything about it. I remember the next day. I remember all these people screaming and crashing. And I was in the pub the next day. I was in my early 20s and into women and drink. So Bigfoot and Dogman, and that went on the back burner. So when I was in my 20s. And a guy came in and said, "You seen this?" I said, "What?" He handed me a newspaper, and I just burst out crying. Absolutely. I said, I was there. He said, "Stop being stupid." I said, I was there. Nobody believed me, but I was. And I connected to a woman. She was there as well. Same place almost.
Yeah.
So we're going to do something about that as well. But yeah, all the way through my childhood, I had strange things. I don't know. I am not saying these as aliens. I don't know what there was, but I remember waking up one time, and this happened several times. And I remember seeing these black figures at the end of. They could have been shadow people. I don't know. But there's 2 figures at the end of my bed and one at the side of me. And I remember sort of like nodding off again and waking up, and there was there again. I nodded off again. And that happened several times. So what there was, all I can remember is seeing black figures. Now, I ain't saying there was aliens. I don't know. Was it a dream? I don't know. What was that thing in my finger? And obviously that's on medical record. So what was it? And I'll tell you what it was. It was a little tiny white ball. And then when the surgeon removed it, he says, "Do you ever cut yourself on your finger?" I said, "Well, I've cut myself a few times over the years, but..." He said, "Well, what is that?" I said, "I don't know." He says, "But anyway, they popped it in a test tube," and they said, "Well, send it off. If it's malignant, we'll let you know." Obviously, you don't get any feedback what they are, and where do these items go? Obviously, maybe to a incinerator, but I'd have loved to kept that thing and see what it was. But
Yeah, shit, I would have wanted it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Awesome. Crazy story, man. Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make a video and do a bit more detail and what I can remember. But dates and that, obviously, I don't keep a diary. So
Yeah, it's quite a story for a book, man. You should write a book about it.
I've been trying to write a book down for the last 7 years. Now, what's up here and what I can put on paper is totally different. I can't do it.
It is very tedious.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah. And I work full time. I'm on my own, so I have to do everything myself, shopping, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I keep doing a bit, putting it down, a few months, maybe 6 months, and I'll do another bit, put it down. I keep wanting to finish it, but
Yeah.
when?
I know the struggle. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think there was sleep paralysis involved in these?
Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. I wish I had the answers. Like, again, it's Bigfoot thing and Dogman thing. I've got a million questions, but no answer. I don't know. I remember feeling things. I remember seeing things. I remember crashing to my bed. I don't know. And I never ever talked about this before. So you're really sort of like one of the first. I've mentioned it a few times in other things, but only little hints. But yeah, you're the first.
Sure.
I've said most too.
Cool.
I suffered from sleep paralysis when I was young. When I was only, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, I had a lot of sleep paralysis at night. And yeah, some people have similar experiences. And when I talk about sleep paralysis, sometimes they go mad, and I don't like to piss in people's boots, but sleep paralysis has a few stages. And in one stage, you can have the sensation of as if there's something touching your tingling feeling on the skin, or something's touching you, and you can have acoustic phenomena, something like you can hear things in the sleep paralysis. You can hear voices, you can hear other sounds, and there's the visual stuff. You can, in one stage, you can see, you can have hallucination, stuff like that. It's all part of sleep paralysis. Also, the feeling of being lifted up. But the fact is, we know about sleep paralysis. We know that it's a thing and that it's there, but we still don't know why it happens and what exactly it is. We do not know,
or how it happens. Yeah,
how it happens and what it's for.
I didn't know it was that bad. I've heard it. I've had sleep paralysis, but I didn't know it was that type of scenario. Really, I mean, it's buzz. When thinking about it now, it could be. I don't know. I really don't know.
Or its origins could be alien. That's what you get when you were getting fucked. Well, maybe. If the scientists can't figure out how it starts in the mind, hell not. I mean, shit.
Always, let me grab my tinfoil hat.
Sorry, I'm an alien guy.
Yeah, you're an alien guy. I know that. But yeah, it could be everything. Everything is possible. Everything is possible. And it's fun to discuss and talk about and speculate about stuff like that.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But will we ever know? Maybe sometimes the chase is more interesting than the catch.
Yeah. It's true. I was gonna say, hey, what's the most interesting place you investigated yourself?
I don't. I've been all over, but I think the most. I think the mowers. I've been on the mowers.
Okay.
There's I don't know. Yeah, there's different places around there that it's real. I don't know. Weird. You get the sense of. I always get a feeling every time I go. Sometimes I can go in the same woods 20 times, and say like a couple of months, and you don't get any feeling. You feel calm. Everything's all right. And you go in one day and you think all your senses are on edge. You feel like you're being watched. And there's several places on the mowers. I've been several times, and I get the same sensation every time, unease, like I've been watched. And I've been all over, so I don't think there's really a favorite place. If I'm in any woodland, I feel sort of like relaxed, if that's the word. I'd rather be in a woodland than in a city anytime. But I just feel a bit more at ease. I come up with a saying years ago, and you've got to train your mind, because a lot of people have asked me, how did you start in this? And danger is real, fear is a choice, and it is. So, and I have trained my mind over the years now, where I've tried and put fear at the back of me, You do. I've been in. I was out last night. I've just bought some new night vision, and I was out last night testing them. I was only out for a couple of hours, but yeah, but you hear snaps of branches, you hear, something moving. What is it? Was it? And your man can play a trick, so you got to go in there with an open mind, blanket, know about the dangers, just try and put the fear behind you. Just try and relax and be calm. And it is hard. It is hard to do, but I think I've achieved, not 100%, I think I've achieved about maybe 60, 70%. I have been with people and there's cracks. I have took people with me, and some people have, can we go home now? Well, we've only just got here. Yeah, but I need to go home, And and you try and calm them down. And I mean, it's not as bad as the US. I mean, we have these things, but your forest over there compared to ours. Well, you got 5 million acres or something of forest. But I think our biggest forest over here is up in Scotland. I think 300 square miles. I could be wrong there, so if anybody wants to correct me, but it's roughly about that. So we've got no really here compared to you guys, and especially as well in Germany as well. It's vast.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. You both.
Yeah. You should come to Germany and do a little bit of research here in Germany.
Yeah. I would like to, it's
We don't want to. Yeah, let's go. If you ever come to Germany, let's go on a little research tour here in Germany.
Yeah,
we can. Yeah.
All right then, you got a deal there.
Yeah, that was crazy cool, Colin. But I think we will wrap it up for today and save some stories for another episode if you want to.
I have got that many. I've got another sighting, and I've got the files in the background that you can see down there.
Yeah,
they're full of stories.